Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and they continue with the Forgotten City, blind. Now, one of the people in armor is threatening Virgil, so it might be either him, the other guard, or Domitius.
What is it, citizen?
Are you the one threatening Virgil?
What? Absolutely not. I know someone's been threatening him, and I'm not happy about it. But I can assure you, it isn't me.
Well, probably none of them will admit it outright. I should search their quarters and stuff. Fair enough.
Alright?
But I will ask them outright. Like, sometimes people do crack under sort of direct pressure.
Citizen?
Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment, it being election day.
Are you the one threatening Virgil?
Do I seem like anonymous threats are my style? Whatever. Just remember, I'll be watching.
I should probably accuse one of them directly and see what their reaction is going to be. Because, as I said, it's highly unlikely that one of them will just admit it if I politely ask.
Citizen? Ah, you again.
Are you the one threatening Virgil?
No idea what you're talking about? See you around.
Yeah, I should probably just accuse them. Like, worst case scenario, they kill me and I reload. This is a game. And, you know, they can't really kill me even because that would break the golden rule.
What now?
So, are you the one threatening Virgil?
Do I seem like anonymous threats are my style?
I know it was you.
You don't know Sturkus. Whatever. Just remember, I'll be watching.
I guess I would have to find, like, you know, some proof in their quarters and stuff.
Salve. Ah, a new face. I hear. Nice to talk to you.
Same thing I've made every day for the last 5 months, Georgius. Bread.
Ah, but it's the way you make it which makes it so magnificent.
I just follow the recipe. It's dead simple.
And yet, you managed to elevate it to an art form somehow.
You old flatterer. What are you like?
That's the guy who lives... who wants to know the name of that god.
Salve, Dooley. How are you doing today?
I'm sad. Am I going to die?
I don't think so, my friend. It's election day today.
Also looking for the priestess.
relive.
Keep an eye out for Scintilla, would you? What now?
Are you the one threatening Virgil?
What? Absolutely not.
I know it was you.
You know nothing.
Yeah, I need some.
Right?
I need some actual proof. But I don't remember where their quarters are. I think Horatius lives in that slum area where the tavern is. And possibly Domitius as well. I think I saw his shield down there.
Salve.
Yeah, this is Horatius's quarters. Does he have like ink or something? It's just denarii.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
That's where Dooley lives. Galerius loves Equitia, countered by fornicate with her and we all die. There was Domitius's home somewhere around here as well, from what I remember. Like, he has a shield as well? Yeah, this is his. No ink. So where is... only missing one house. Which is the other guard. Rufus, I think? Rufus?
Well, you're here. I'm so glad you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward, but the moment I laid eyes on you, I was intrigued. There's a light in your eyes I've never seen before.
Don't waste your breath, I know you're a horrible person.
How dare you? Get away from me, you pig. Oh, do us all a favour and drink hemlock, Caput Murder.
A large vat for brewing beer. There's a layer of small insects drowning on the surface. Great. Great. That's always something I want to see in my beer. Horatius' chest. But where's Rufus's home? Carving of a lion. Looks Egyptian. Yeah, there was a guy here called Kabash. A diary entry from Kabash in which he describes recurring dreams about a stranger named Curti. I told Lucretia about the dreams I've been having, and she said it might help her divine their meaning if I wrote them down. It happened last night. The man by the river was there, as always, his face shrouded in shadow from his peculiar ram headdress. Once again, he introduced himself as Curti and told me he dragged me from the river. He seemed to smirk as he said his name, as if it meant something I could not understand. Indeed, the name rings a bell, but I cannot for the life of me remember where I heard it. I do not drink. I do not think I would sleep soundly again until I know. Who is Curti? Yeah, I kind of think he's Karen. Like, you know, the ferryman of the river of the underworld, by whichever name you actually... A strange vase painted with geometric shapes. It's definitely not Roman. I wonder where it came from. Okay, this is boarded up. So maybe that's his room. Because I think he was mentioned to have a collection of those statues. But there's nothing here that would indicate it's him who's writing the threads. Oh, this is... Okay, and he has incomplete note. So it is him. A summary of the incomplete note addressed to a sinner. This is your final warning, sinner. Persuade Rufus to stop threatening Virgil. Wait. Oh, he's Christian as well. Interesting. A phallic charm thought by the Romans to have divine protective properties. Wouldn't that kind of run contrary to your new faith, though? You're not supposed to keep idols in your house.
You again.
Are you the one threatening Virgil?
No idea what you're talking about?
I know it was you. I found an incomplete letter to him in your quarters.
Look, I haven't been at my best lately. I know that. It's the rheumatism. It starts with constant pain in all your joints. Then the pain starts to mess with your head. Makes you angry, mean. I know that's not an excuse for how I acted. But it's the truth. But with the willow bark, I'm already starting to feel like myself again. I'll leave him alone from now on. It's not as if I was ever going to hurt him anyway. I was just lashing out. I'm going to go and clean up the graffiti. Just forget this ever happened. Will you?
No problem. Although I actually do have a problem with that, because I don't think you being in pain is necessarily a justification for you hurting other people. That's how children behave.
Sometimes I stare at the great temple on the bluff, and I think, whatever is in there, it has to be important. Welcome back.
And don't worry about the threats. It's just Rufus, and he's never going to hurt you.
What demon or spirit told you about that?
I found an incomplete note in his house.
You went snooping in his place? That was risky. We're lucky you didn't cross any lines. Have you spoken to him about it?
Yes, and he won't be bothering you anymore.
Really? How did you manage that?
I found a treatment for his rheumatism, which was making him agitated and compounding some other personal issues.
Poor fellow. I've heard that can really mess with a person's head. Well done for figuring that out.
Happy to help. I think he wants to help clean up his graffiti too.
Really? That's promising. I'll keep an eye out for him.
Who are you going to vote for?
Well, Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this place. And while it's all a bit vague, at least he has a vision.
Anything I can do to change that?
My vote isn't for sale, if that's what you're asking.
I thought you would change your mind, actually, once I
Nice
helped
to
you.
talk to you.
I actually thought you would change your mind.
Citizen. You again.
Who are you going to vote for?
Sentius. Military man. Knows what he's doing.
Okay, Malleolus has to drop for Galerius to enter anyway, so...
Fine. See you around.
I'm still looking for the priestess. I don't know where she is.
I take it you've cleared the way to the baths? Follow me, but don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Wow.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see. Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was C-H-A-R-O-N, as in Charon, the ferryman of the dead. Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
There are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
Yes, we're all dead. I kind of figured it out. This place is the underworld?
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
So we're dead.
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know.
What can you tell me about Karen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
Why didn't you all recognize Karen immediately?
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
Why are there so few people in the underworld?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not.
Were you trying to keep this from me?
No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help, I promise you.
That's all the questions I had.
Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra. And Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Tell me more about escaping with the help of a guide.
As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage.
So she might be willing to work against him to help us.
If the stories are true, then I suppose so. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels?
I hear the female statues whispering to me every now and then.
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say?
It's always the same voice, and she's helpful if a little cryptic.
Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
Not yet.
Oh, I see. Well, let me know if you hear anything that might be a thread through this labyrinth.
And tell me more about confronting the god of the underworld head-on.
That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules.
I have a few tricks up my sleeve.
I'll admit, you do seem different to anyone I've ever met. And even that lamp of yours looks like something Prometheus might have stolen from the gods. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
What can you tell me about that obelisk?
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
Oh, I get it. This is trying to do a religious syncretism kind of situation where we all worship the same god under different names. So the 4th one is the Christian god, and they have like a plaque with the fish. Where would I find the Roman plaque?
Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name to be forgotten. And there's only one group of people I know of who might want to do that. There's a cult in Rome that often argued there is only one true god. Theirs, of course. They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged their beliefs. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy. But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque.
Well, I already know where it is, actually. How would I find the Greek plaque?
I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum.
Where would I find an Egyptian plaque?
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, would be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room.
Where would I find the mystery plaque?
I'm afraid you're on your own with that one, but perhaps the goddess will help guide you to it when the time is right.
Let's talk about something else. I've noticed you seem uncomfortable calling the god of the underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
Tell me more about confronting him head-on.
Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from? Oh. That option would be the boldest. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld.
I have a few tricks.
I'll admit, you do seem different to anyone I've ever met. But first,
Okay, this just repeats. Can't we just escape the same way we came in?
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
Alright, I'm ready to get started.
Alright. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone.
I'll start by listening for more whispers. It doesn't really matter which way, which thing is prioritized by the objective markers because I have them off.
In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
But to be honest, first I was planning on getting into the cellar.
Are they?
Because I have a weapon now. Maybe I can defeat the statue.
Hello? Hello? Have we met before?
Let's talk about your treasure.
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key. Now nobody looks after me.
Okay, you want to be let out. So...
Bye-bye.
Don't really have anything new to say. Looks busy. I should try talking to him again later. So is it election time? That kind of checks out.
Same thing I've made every day for the last 5 months, Georgius. Bread.
Isn't the great temple majestic?
Hey, you're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
I know about the creature, don't worry about me.
Well, it's your funeral.
Okay, so that takes care of the creature, unless there are more of them down here, but, you know, remains to be seen. Statue of a Roman man holding up one arm is either greeting someone or surrendering. The statue of a young Roman man posed as if beckoning others to safety. A Roman woman in the middle of disrobing, as if she had been visiting the baths. A young Roman woman throwing up her arms as if to surrender to an unseen enemy. Amphora of arrows. There's supposed to be a corpse down here of that one guy who got killed. An emaciated human-like creature splattered in gold, it appears to have been crushed to death while entering the cistern from the cave beyond. So is that the guy? There has to be something in here. Oh, that's probably his corpse. A lunar pendant. There is a Latin inscription on the back which reads Sendia Dev. I have no idea what that means, actually. Maybe someone will be able to tell me.
What now? Whatever. Just remember, I'll be watching.
I guess I'll go and talk to Livia. I might also grab the plaque from the caverns. I can't take it. Interesting. I was convinced I would be able to. So maybe it isn't one of those. Okay, that's not optimal, but whatever.
You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water, and the tree you grasp eludes you.
From what I hear, nobody saw it coming. Anyway, I thought you Stoics weren't supposed to worry about things you can't control.
Yeah, but I keep thinking, what if there is something I can do? What if she's out there somewhere suffering, waiting to be found?
Sounds like you're torturing yourself. Leave that for the gods. Try to relax, get some rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
I suppose you're right.
You, Sisyphus, just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls. But it does not notice the crowds that come.
I figured it out. I know where we are.
Say it. Speak its name.
The underworld.
Then it is true. I was right.
You were.
I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane. I had to tell myself it was true over and over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
I will do my best to remember the relevant verse. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace. As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, and still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
So how did that help me exactly?
Friend, you have given me hope. May you follow in the footsteps of Hercules and return to the light of day. Friend, you have given me hope.
Well, I'll have to do it again next time, actually. But first, do you happen to have like a plaque? This is the house of the Egyptian guy. So what are my actual objectives? And listen to the whispers. Collect all 4 stolen plaques. Get Dooley's key to the upper cistern. One of the cultists may know something. Rufus is a Christian. Who's the old man?
Horatius? Looking a bit troubled there.
Vote for Malleolus for a free drink. Oh, do us all a favour and drink hemlock cap at murder.
Don't be too hard on yourself. From what I hear, nobody saw it coming. Anyway, I thought you Stoics weren't supposed to worry about things you can't control.
Yeah, you stay away from my money.
I keep thinking, what if there is something I can do?
Key to Aurelia's chest.
Somewhere suffering, waiting to be found.
Sounds like you're torturing yourself. Leave that for the gods. Try to relax. Get some rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
The day is almost over. I will try to get in here once the statues wake up.
That lamp! Greetings, I'm Georgius.
I know.
My friend, your words intrigue me more and more, but...
Do you know where I might find a Greek plaque?
And in a city full of Romans you are asking me? Because I am Greek. Let me tell you something about Greeks and Romans. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios and they think, ah, he must mean Georgius. Good Roman name. They do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us but call him Jupiter. They take Hades and call him Pluto, Persephone, Proserpina. I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must they change the names? Do they want credit for making it all up? Do they want to forget where it came from? At first, I pull my hair out. After a while, I give up, and I become Georgius the Roman. I accept the world is Roman. Plus, I have no hair left to pull. But my point is this. If you want to know who stole an old Greek name, look no further than the sticky-fingered Romans. The plague you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek relics by none other than Dooley. He cannot help it. Like a typical Roman, he likes shiny things, especially those that once belonged to my people. And besides, it makes him happy. So I say, let him keep it. I believe he still has it with him, in his cell, just opposite the Temple of Demeter.
Okay.
I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Hello? Hello? Have we met before?
About that Greek plaque in your cell.
Do you like it? It's shiny, innit? It makes me happy just looking at it.
May I have it, please?
But if I gave it to you, then I wouldn't have it anymore, and I'd be sad.
What it's going to take for me to give it to me?
Well, if you get me out of here, then I wouldn't need it anymore because I'd already be happy. Then you could have it, and you'd be happy too.
That's fair.
Galerius already tried that. Like, Galerius, I don't think he likes me.
So all I need is to persuade everyone to vote for Galerius.
Yeah, Galerius will let me out. Then you can have my plaque and everyone will be happy.
I'll be going now. I think I can accomplish quite a bit on the next loop, because I'll be able to talk to Ulpius and stop him from killing himself. But for now I'm kind of looking for Rufius. Like he sometimes goes up to the palace. A relief depicting a great circular portal and Proserpina, the Roman goddess of the circle of life and renewal. Her story is a grim one. It is said that she was abducted by Pluto and forced into a marriage against her will.
Horatius? Looking a bit troubled there.
Still no sign of Centilla.
I'm guessing that Promethean fire's not for sale.
3 weeks.
Don't be too hard on yourself. From what I hear, nobody saw it coming. Anyway, I thought you Stoics weren't supposed to worry about things you can't control.
Yeah, well, I keep thinking, what if there is something I can do? What if she's out there somewhere suffering, waiting to be found?
Sounds like you're torturing yourself. Leave that to the gods.
Hello again, my sartorial friend. I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Where is he?
Citizen? Ave. You again.
Any idea where I would find a Roman plaque?
No idea what you're talking about.
Come on, I helped treat your rheumatism.
What? That was Galerius, not you.
Where do you think he got the willow bark?
Oh, he got that from you? I guess you did help me then. Huh. I think I have seen that plaque. Sorry I lied. Can't be too careful these days. Head into the caves behind the theater. Turn right, then right again. Oh, and here. You'll need this key.
Key to the sacred shrine.
Didn't get that from me.
Got it, thanks.
See you around.
Roman plaque. Pluto, the father of riches. Do you want to talk by any chance?
I said please leave. You're trespassing.
Oh, not entirely. I literally got... okay, so that's another way to get in here. It is time. Okay, so he's going to win again. I think I'm going to stand right here so they can try running. But I'll try running into that particular doorway next time, because this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!